Rob, Cuttino Mobley addressed it when we spoke with him last hour, how the Golden State Warriors are different, so very different when Kevin Durant isn't there. And the player movement, the movement of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, wears an opponent out. And their record now without Kevin Durant is 30-4. And that includes a big-time playoff win over the Houston Rockets. I did not kill Kevin Durant, as opposed to you and many others, most others. I didn't kill Kevin Durant when he went to Golden State. But what I did feel and what I have felt for these past 3 years is that we as fans, we as reporters, basketball nation, NBA nation, has been robbed of the type of show and the type of excellence that Steph Curry would show us. What he did the year before KD got there, I know they didn't win a championship, but his regular season heroics were unprecedented practically. 30 points a game, first player ever to be unanimous MVP, which I know he's not the first that deserved it, but he got that award. And when Kevin Durant came, and Kevin Durant is, by all viewpoints, their best player. Even Steph's admitting it. Klay's admitting it. No question. But Kevin Durant's presence, the fact that they saw he was the best player, the fact that Steph and Klay to a degree deferred to him, took away from the brilliance of Steph Curry. And he just didn't have to do as much because you got the great Kevin Durant there next to you. So it's kind of a crutch. And now that Durant has been injured, Steph Curry turned back the clock and showed us that he's still the same old Steph. And I just think that we've been robbed of seeing his true and total greatness. I'm going to use an example that will hit home with you. And not that this guy's on the level of a Steph Curry, but Mark Aguirre. When Mark Aguirre was in Dallas, you know, he was one of the best scorers in the league, 25 points a game. And on a good team, on a team that took the Showtime Lakers to 7 games in the Western Conference Finals one year. He goes to Detroit to play with his buddy Isaiah Thomas. And to Aguirre's credit, much like Steph in this regard, he just did whatever he had to do, whatever sacrifice he had to make, he did it for the team. It went first year to averaging about 15 points a game. Second year, he voluntarily came off the bench and gave Dennis Rodman the starting role. And he won 2 championships. So my point is, there are players out there that can do more, and some players that can do more and win. Aguirre didn't win championships, but he, won at a pretty high level. Steph could do more and win. We've all seen that. And so I'm just saying that we've missed out on that with KD being there. And I'm going to be honest, Rob, I don't know if they can win the championship without. We'll see. I know they can beat Portland, but we'll see if they can win the championship, beat Milwaukee or whoever they meet in the finals without him. But this is why I hope that Kevin Durant leaves. I hope he goes to New York for the good of the league. But wherever he goes, I hope he leaves so we can be treated once again to the Steph Curry show.
I hear you. I believe that's how you really feel. Like, you know what I mean? You're a Steph Curry guy, and I get all that, and there's a good reason why. He's a great player. But I will say, you say you were robbed of seeing Steph Curry. I remember Steph Curry when he was up 3-1, and they lost the championship. I remember that. Losing 3 straight games in a year that they won 73 and hadn't lost 2 games all year. So I remember that Steph Curry. And the other part
That's the only Steph Curry you remember?
I remember that. That's all I'm saying. And here's the other part, is blame Steph Curry if you feel robbed. He's the one who signed off on it after they lost 3-1. Coughed up a 3-1 lead to LeBron James and the Cavaliers. They went to Steph Curry and asked him about KD. Steph Curry could have said, "No way, no how do we need KD? We don't need KD to beat LeBron James, Chris Broussard." Instead,
listen to you, your little
Steph
sing-songy voice.
Steph Curry did what he felt he had to do. He called in the reinforcements.
He didn't call.
Yes, he did, because he could have
supported Draymond's call.
He could have easily said, "No, we don't need him. We just went to the finals 2 years in a row. We won 1 out of 2. We beat KD when they were up 3-1 against us. We don't need KD." No. And instead, he gave in, and yes, he took a back seat. You know why? Because KD's better than him. That's the reason KD's been the MVP of the finals 2 years in a row. So you can romanticize all you want, be a prisoner of the moment, talk about Steph Curry.
Prisoner of the moment. I feel like last 5 years. What are you talking about?
I feel like I got robbed because I couldn't see Steph Curry. He was playing. He just couldn't win no MVPs. He was out there. You got robbed. You know what? You're following a false police report. You weren't robbed.
I'll give you that. That's a good point. Blame Steph Curry. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not, because you're absolutely right. Steph Curry had the clout, right? He could have went to Bob Myers. He could have went to his teammates and said, "Look, y'all, we know we should have beat the Cavs. If we don't lose Draymond for game 5, we win that series. Let's go back next year and show them. We don't need, Kevin Durant's a great player. We all know that, but we don't need him." He could have done that. And I'm not mad at him or KD. I'm not mad at KD either.
No,
I'm just stating a fact that we have been neglected. We have been robbed of seeing this light show that is Stephen Curry. This light show that put the great Allen Iverson in awe.
Now let me ask you this.
This light show that had people saying he could be a top 5, 10 player of all time. That type of show. So I'm with you. And I don't fault Steph for doing, bring in KD. That shows his humility, his professionalism. I'm fine with all that.
So what happens? I'm just trying to I want you on the record on this. So the last time Steph Curry was running the team, they choked down a 3-1 lead. First time in NBA history. Did you hear me? First time in NBA history. And if they don't win, say they get knocked out in the Western Conference Finals, or they don't win the championship with Steph as the lead guy or whatever, would that change anything for you? Would that make you wonder about that? It would be the last 2 times he was driving the bus, it crashed. Would that change anything? I'm just asking.
It wouldn't. Like I said last week, I've said Steph is the best small player of all time. Now, in my book, moved ahead of Isaiah Thomas. I do think that would be, it's fluid. He's still got a lot of his career left. So I've put him ahead now. But look, if they were to lose to Portland, say KD doesn't come back, and they were to lose to Portland in the Western Conference Finals, then that would make me start to reevaluate and start to really watch it. Because the thing about Isaiah Thomas is he was unquestionably the leader of that team. And best player.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Right. Even
None.
when Joe Dumars won the finals MVP, the second championship, it was Isaiah Thomas's teams, and there was no doubt about it. So I'm with you. I'm not just sitting here trying to, uplift Steph Curry and put him on this pedestal. I'm just stating the facts from what we see. What we have seen, Rob, in these last 2 games, 33 points in the second half. In game 6.
Oh, it's amazing.
23 in the fourth quarter, 16 in the final 5 minutes. 2 huge 3-pointers from at least 27 feet with a dislocated left fingers on his left hand.
If he's out there playing, he's all right. I don't want to hear about that.
But it's still true. We give Isaiah Thomas credit, and that's worse. What Isaiah did in game 6 on the sprained ankle is tougher than the dislocated finger. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, you incorporate that into the story. Like, it makes it even more impressive. And so he delivered. Now, they got to keep it up. I mean, like I said, it'd be interesting to see them against Milwaukee if they don't have Kevin Durant. So I just think I love what I don't think there's any disputing the fact that the Warriors are more fun to watch. Steph Curry is more entertaining and greater to watch right now than when KD's out there. And this is nothing against KD. KD is the best player on the team. Period. Man, arguably might be the best player in the world.
When I saw KD make that shot on LeBron's mug, I thought that was exciting. I thought that was fun. That wasn't fun to you?
No, it wasn't as exciting as Steph Curry pulling up over 2 Rockets from 28 feet from the hash.
I'm
it
just
just
asking
wasn't.
you. All right.
You know it wasn't.
I'm asking you. We got different tastes.
It's like
I like
this,
Diet
Rob.
Coke. You like regular Coke.
It's like this. If LeBron, let's say instead of Durant going to Golden State, LeBron had gone to Golden State. Now, they would have definitely won championships. Their talent would have been overwhelming. But Steph and Clay would have become glorified spot-up shooters. Because it would have been, LeBron would have had the ball in his hands. He would have been penetrating, kicking out to them. They would have been crushing it from three-point land. And individually, those two would not have been able to shine as much. That's what I'm saying. So it's nothing against KD. It's just a system difference. And this system they're playing now with all the incredible movement allows Steph to really be at his best. So it's interesting to see. Look, I'm glad Kevin Durant's not seriously hurt. I hope he can come back soon just for his sake. You know, you always want the best players out there. But this is really interesting watching them without him. Because they've always rolled without him. And like you and I talked about LeBron when he went to Cleveland. When he left Cleveland and went to Miami, how we both thought he sold himself short. Like he was good enough to win titles in Cleveland.
I believed he was. I really did. I thought he would have won a championship at some point in Cleveland.
So is it possible the Warriors sold themselves short when they went out and got Kevin Durant? You know what I'm saying?
I believe that as well.
Now, look, it's hard to – what Kevin Durant gives them is just Klay Thompson mentioned, the room for error. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be perfect. Because he can make up for any mistakes and errors and all that. But without him, we'll never know, at least not right now, if they are good enough to continue winning those championships without him. So it's interesting. And I want to hear what the listeners think. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Did the arrival of Kevin Durant rob basketball fans, that's who you are, basketball fans, of the chance to see the best version of Steph Curry the past 3 seasons?
All right, Jeremy in California, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jeremy?
I'm a huge Golden State Warriors fan, and I'm going to tell you something, and this is the truth. We did not need Kevin Durant. We really didn't. But it is a luxury that we have him, and we are going to need him to continue to push forward. It is not an absolute failure if we do not beat Portland. However, Steph Curry's legacy might take a small notch. But we did get robbed of the greatness of Steph Curry. And we saw a huge glimpse of that in the most magnificent second half of basketball in Steph Curry's entire career, where he dropped 33 on P.J. Tucker and Chris Paul's head in Game 6.
And
I agree with just
Jeremy,
about everything Jeremy's saying.
Jeremy, when they choked down the 3-1 advantage over the Cavaliers, what were you saying? That you didn't need any help?
Now, I'm going to also tell you this. My best friend is a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and I accepted all of the smoke from that because, yes, we had no excuses for blowing that lead. It didn't matter if Draymond Green wasn't playing, even though he is a leader and a key piece to the defense. But the greatness of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson should have allowed for us to win that game. But because Steph Curry didn't play defense on Kyrie Irving, and he hit him with the dribble, step back 3-pointer, it hurts.
Let me say this, Rob, to your answer of the Warriors choking. First of all, you seem to always leave out that Oklahoma City with KD.
No, we're talking about
Russell
Steph Curry
Westbrook.
right now. We're talking about
finish.
Steph Curry.
That they choked right before that.
No, they
to
choked.
Steph Curry and those guys. Secondly, because they choked and lost a 3-1 lead in the finals to Cleveland, does not mean they couldn't have come back the very next year and righted the situation by beating Cleveland or whoever and winning the championship. I'll bring it to, again, the legend, Isaiah Thomas. He choked when he threw that pass away in Game 5, and Larry Bird stole it. That cost him that series against Boston. But he came back the next year, and they beat Boston. So it happens. That doesn't mean that the Warriors couldn't have won without KD, but it's legit. You bring it up, the choke. But you bring it up like that's the definitive statement. Oh, they were done. They couldn't have won. No. Magic choked in the tragic Johnson finals in 1984. We saw LeBron against Dallas. I brought up Isaiah Thomas. It happens. But the great ones can come back from it.
You know what never happened? In the NBA Finals, no team had ever choked a 3-1 lead. It never happened. I'm just saying.
So what Isaiah Thomas did, that was commonplace. What Magic did,
but I'm
the
just
greatest
saying,
point guard
it
ever
never happened in
the
the history of
dribbling
the
out the
league.
clock.
It never
I get
happened.
it, Rob, but I'm
Okay.
just saying, you act like they were
I'm
done
just saying
from
it's
that
never
point
been
on. They
done.
never would have won again.
That's on his resume. That's all
Of
I'm
course
saying.
it
It's
is.
on his resume. All right, Randy in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Randy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Hey, so I actually think that it's elevated his greatness. Steph Curry is arguably the greatest shooter that's ever played the game before KD came. Name another player who's been mentioned as one of the greatest in their position of all time to step back for the betterment
Why
of
would
the
you
team.
step back if you're the greatest shooter of all time? It makes no sense to me.
He is the greatest shooter
Why
of
would
all
you?
time.
Why would you step back? I'm asking you, Randy. If you're the greatest freaking shooter
'Cause
of
you're
all
humble.
time, no, Chris.
No, really.
I want Randy to give me an answer. Why would you step back if you're the greatest shooter of all time?
Because basketball is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. Otherwise, Allen Iverson would be seen. So for the betterment of the team.
That makes no sense.
No, it makes
no
good
sense.
answer.
Makes no sense.
Makes
And
total
if I could
sense,
say,
Rob.
And if I could say one other thing, too. If they lose to Portland, I don't think that that's a knock on them because some people might argue Portland has the better backcourt than the Warriors.
How could they? They have the
I
best.
think this is the best
Golden
backcourt
State has
of
the-
all time.
Golden State has the best shooter of all time. How could they lose? It doesn't make sense. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it.
Good call,
How about
Randy.
Mark? Let's squeeze
Wisdom.
another one in. Mark in San Francisco.
Don't be
You're on the
discouraged.
Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
Hey, what's up, Rob? What's up, Chris? Thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
What's
sir.
happening?
You need to stop hating on KD.
I'm not hating.
Let's talk
I
about
said
this.
he's the best player on the team.
But don't bring up analytics from regular season. In the 2
What
years before
analytics?
KD,
Name one I brought up.
Okay. The 2 years before KD, the Warriors were 7-6 in finals and 1-1 in the final record. They switched KD for Harrison Barnes. Now they're 8-1, and I don't understand how somebody can say that KD is the best player on the team, unstoppable, but you don't want to go to him. You would never say that to Jordan or
It's
anybody.
ridiculous.
Who was the best
When did
player
I say
Thank you,
that?
Mark. It's
I
ridiculous.
never
said that.
said you don't want to go to him. I'm
No, no,
saying
no. You said-
what did I say? Go ahead. Tell me what I
You
said.
said that Steph Curry, they run better without Durant running the team or being the best player. Durant has never been. He is so unselfish. When he played, he'd give, if the shot is there, he'll take the shot. That's why when he went 5 for 8 in Game 2 against the Clippers, he goes, I just do my shots that they gave me the call. And then Kerr said afterwards, he needs to shoot 20 to 30 times.
Yes.
Called his number every time he put up 50 in Game 3, and then he started scoring because he started throwing them more times. And
I
Kerr
never
was
said
better.
they shouldn't go to Kevin Durant.
You just said they're better without him.
I said that took away from the greatness of Steph Curry. That's what I said.
How did you take away from Curry?
Because
when you
he
have
doesn't
somebody,
get to shine as much. The Steph Curry you saw in Game 6, did you see a lot of that this season?
when
No.
he gets in the regular season, yes, he'll put up 40, 30 points sometimes.
You didn't
shoot crazy
see 33. You didn't see that.
But the
You
thing
didn't. You rarely see the Steph Curry of 2016 nowadays.
All right, thanks for the call. We appreciate it.